You hear that? That is the first ferry going across the river just after 5 a.m. Welcome back to M Hood Fishing. We're starting from scratch this morning. Absolutely no bait besides for the night crawlers that I brought as a backup just in case. But we got to build. As soon as I got here, before I got the camera out, I got the essential things done so we could just roll into getting bait. That's the fire, that's the light out, that's the sand spikes, you know, the rod holders. We've only got one rod tied up. Got two other rods here, not tied up. Clashing. Table, live well. Oh, almost in the fire too. This old shop vac is versatile. Not only will we use it as a table, but a chair, a seat, a stool, an upside down bucket. My week has started really rough. Ooh, water is cold. I do not have anything but water shoes on. Sunday, I went out and I did a yak session with my friend Ray. Monday, when I woke up, I realized how wiped out I was, but also realized how much of a sinus issue I had. So I started my Monday really bad with being totally wiped out and with an extreme sinus problem, you know, like a hay fever attack, sinus headaches and whatnot. So not off to a good start. One thing I got to mention is this is the new moon today. That's what we're up against. Fishing could suck, but we got the sun coming. Pre-dawn is on its way, so we should be able to do something. Let's just see if we can get bait. Hopefully this is not a night crawler session. There should be something here, like shrimp, mullet, maybe even other things like shad. Other important things worth noting is we're here after a low tide, so we have an incoming tide right now. We're in between 10 and 11 feet on the flood gauge up at Carrollton, but we've got the tide out, right? But it's about to come in, so we got quite a bit of work area here. Maybe in a few days it'll be back up to here, the water. This is the best time to find all kinds of different bait. Right here where we're at, we're behind what I call the sketchy dock. Used to come from a yeast plant behind us, but now it's just a sketchy looking mooring spot. This first essential part of building the session, I have a feeling is going to go a little slow, because first net was a fine net, but not holding anything that fine. Second net is a different story, however. I believe there's shad, mullet, and shrimp in this net. Yep. Dumping the third net straight to the sand because I believe it's just got two small cats in it, one that's very small. And what I like to do before I start, is just shake the net, see if they just fall out. Sometimes they do, a lot of times they do. Like the biggest one just fell out. Now we got the smaller one that might not fall out so easy because he's really stuck, it appears. You just shake the net and hope for the best. Usually they just come right out. Not always though. We might have to work on that one. Little blue cat. So on their fins they have barbs that are going towards the head, right? Inward. And that's what catches. Now this one is partially through, So you just have to be patient and work them out. I know a lot of people that just rip them out, sacrificing the cat. But one day, this little thing will grow up to be something worth catching. This could be a fish that reaches over 100 pounds or better one day. It's all up to me letting them go without hurting them. So there we go. There's our shad. That's our mullet flying around, and there's a couple of little things in there like shrimp and I think a really small shad. But let's do this. I am going to cut it almost in half. This is a 6/0 octopus, right behind the head plate, just like that. So we're using 4 ounces of lead, 80-pound braid. This is my Twitching Whiskers Catfish rod. It's a tournament rod, 1 piece. I'm just going to do the cast without filming it because it's dark here. You're not going to see anything. That is done. I believe it's in a good place too. Cheap versus expensive. So everything there is going to cost a lot more than this. This is ultra cheap. That is a Shakespeare Alpha. With these kind of reels, I just fish them till they fall apart. I don't worry about trying to keep them, you know, greased or anything because they're ultra cheap. Everything is plastic here for the most part. This is a Quantum Blue Runner. It's cheap. It's falling apart. See the tip? It's kind of breaking. Still catches fish. 45-pound coastal brown mono is what I have on this right now. Let me get it together and we'll put a bait out. Uh-oh. I'm getting a hit here and I'm in the middle of something. So another 6/0. Quite possible that we have no bait out there now, but we will proceed with what I am doing. Let's see, we will do a 4. This is ready. Here we go. Like I said, 4 ounces on a sinker slide, 6/0 octopus. If it wasn't for that action that I saw, I was going to put the last bit of shad on this hook, but I think we want it deeper because this is going to always be deeper. This bait on this rod here, and this not so deep because we have that going on. It goes from shallow to deeper. So maybe we'll have the fresh shad deeper. You know, we're gonna have fresh mullet too here in a second. Therefore, let's check this to see what's up. Probably gonna have to rebait this and then recast. That was just a little fish plucking on that because obviously we still have the bait. Slowly, slowly going down. Oh. I'm gonna have to come out. This feels weird because of the willows. The line is up against a stand of willows in front of us, but it feels like a solid hookup nonetheless, I think. Yeah, we're still hooked up. This might be a decent fish too. Decent for the first fish of the morning. First fish on the line. He's already at the willows. This is not going to be a big fish. It felt bigger for a little bit and now it doesn't. It's right here with me. But still, it is a decent fish for the first fish of the morning. Yeah, you're right. About maybe a 12-pound fish or something. While I was waiting for that fish to hit, I've got more shad in here. That's what I was doing. It is much lighter now too, and I think we're getting close to where there's not going to be too much bait real close in, but still up here, but not close in. There's always more shrimp and stuff up here when it's dark, opposed to when the sun gets up. But we've got a good ways to go before that happens, before the sun gets up. This is a very pale blue cat, this one. Not an albino, but quite pale, especially in this light. I mean, light is quite bright, and so therefore it's reflecting off him, making him look even brighter, even paler. Oh, you love me. You're trying to kiss my ankles. See you later. We're getting a bite. That's why we paused and watched that rod. River is not that cold at first. When I first stepped in it a couple hours ago, or maybe not even a couple hours, I haven't been that long. I have not been here that long. It was shocking, but now it's just okay. The day might not be okay though. It's not supposed to be stormy, but I can already feel the precursors of it coming on. It's going to be a windy day, just like it was yesterday. In fact, that wind, you can feel it coming in now, but that wind's going to really be up around, it could be up around 8, but definitely going to be outside of my comfort zone by 9 and 10, because it's going to come up to 17, even maybe worse today. So I think we're going to legitimately fish till 8, and legitimately we're only going to fish with shad, and we'll save the mullet for tomorrow morning. Some people might be wondering why I let that catfish go, because I'm sure that you were like, oh, it's perfect eater size. I'm not keeping fish on this session. I'm strictly here to see if we can get something worth weighing, something big. Usually when I'm not having a great sinus week, which is the fact this week, last thing I want to do is go home and cut fish, unless it's something I really, really love to eat. However, maybe not even then this week. Like, the last thing I want to do is stuff when my head hurts. But there are some things that are not that big of a deal, and other things that are just a pain when you don't feel good. Twitching whiskers. Oh, I'm just letting them have it. I'm not going to react quite yet. I think I still have the bait because I see something going on. But generally, when I get a bite, I don't just reel right up unless it's a hookup. I'll give it a few minutes, right? 5, 10 to 15 minutes before I check it. I've already had quite a few bites like that, and this year at this spot, altogether a lot like that. It's small fish 9 times out of 10, too small for the size of the bait or the hook. Their mouth is too small, but they're just grabbing a small piece and they're making you think that something worthwhile freaking out about is going on. I just looked at the time. Don't listen to me when I said 2 hours, because we have not been here 2 hours. We got here right around 5 a.m. It is just now after 6 a.m. So we've been here for an hour. Maybe we've had a bait out for about an hour. And we got 2 more hours to go, because I don't think I want to fish past 8. That wind is already coming up. brought it up for no reason. Even this one still has its bait. They both had hits within the last 15-20 minutes. So this is kind of one of those spots where when you want to cast one rod, you got to have the other one up. So in this instance, to recast this rod, we're going to recast both rods. It's worth doing, you know, checking both baits. I want to go ahead and get this out because we have a tanker coming through at a pretty good tick. It's a good size one too. It's long, so it's going to give us, it's coming down river. You see it right there? It's coming at a good tick. It's going to give us a nice wake. Let's hurry up, get back, and put the other rod out. As I was backing up, walking back, something swam by and I felt its fins touch my leg. Same tanker, second rod. Decent spot right by that grouping of pylons. His wake is not upon us yet, but it's coming, and the effect of it will last for a few minutes after he's past us, which he's now past us. Oh, here we go. Little bit of a hit on the twitching whiskers. That's that head piece, and then the body piece is on the other rod. Whoa, did I see something on the blue runner? Maybe not. That wind is coming in our face and it's getting stronger and stronger. It's not a deal breaker quite yet. Oh no. Okay. Yes. Doesn't feel big quite yet. I'm not even sure if we've really had the wake from the tanker fully come in, but you got to remember it was going down river. It's when they're going up river at a good tick that they really give you a significant wake. That's significant up here where we're at, but it still has an effect on the fish, even if it was a lazy one. It looks like it's going fast, right? But you got to remember that it's going downriver, so you have what the motor's doing and what the current's doing. And what is this fish doing? Maybe it's more about what M. Hood was doing or not doing. M. Hood should have been coming out here and playing this fish in front of the willow, instead of talking and not watching. Well, I just wasn't paying attention to what was going on. But hold on, we got to get some value. Oh, we still got this fish here. Let's give him some line, see if he'll back up. He's in that willow right there, or the line is, at least. And what's going on? I thought I saw maybe I had a bite on the blue runner. There we go. Come on through there. It was more my line, I guess. He backed up for me out of the obstacle, whatever it was. Not a very big fish. Better than the skunk, right? He's been feeding though. Look at that belly. Pot belly. Nice tribal markings. The fish of the willow. Yeah, you're right. $6.34 right now. Kind of getting things together, so when I'm ready to go, it's not so daunting of a task because most of it's done. something just gave us a hit on the twitching whiskers. You might be wondering why in the beginning of this video I said it's the new moon, therefore it might suck. Sometimes the new moon is kind of like when you're fishing the full moon. If you look at the tide data, you'll see that the new moon affects the tide just as the full moon affects the tide, but not in the same way, because one's the full moon and one's the new moon. The way it's affecting the tide today is that we have less of a tide. Our tidal range is not very significant. It will be significant, I think, in about less than 48 hours. It will be back to normal. It's right now the tide is half of what it should be. Oh. Yep, I think I just put it back out there actually. This is my third fish, but not my third bite. I was about to, I just brought in the other one right after I put this back out, rebaiting it, and bam, this one. This might be a better fish than the first two, but I can't really commit to that idea quite yet. He's already right up here. He's past that. Oh no, he's not past that willow problem. He's in that willow problem. Dang it, I thought. Oh, he's coming. He came through. We are past the willow problem. Maybe actually, now that I'm past the willow problem, I'm gonna say he's probably around the same size now. Well, a little better, but about the same size. So on average, now that we got a third one up here, it's this size this morning that we're bringing in. I was hoping for a much bigger size, but we have a little bit of ways to go before I'm gonna go ahead and call this session. Whoa. All right, so let's look at the front. See how pinkish he is? Probably has a lot to do with what he's eating, which is probably stacked in that belly right there. Probably eating a lot of shrimp, the river shrimp, the freshwater river shrimp, and shad. Another fish of the willows. I just did a weather check. We do have a lot of severe weather far north today. Possible tornadoes and stuff like that. Not here for me, but a good ways north. Possibly northern Louisiana, but we're talking like Oklahoma, Texas, and even further north than that. But right now our wind speed is 15. Was 13 not too long ago, but just notched up to 15. And whenever you're on the river, that's gonna feel far higher than that. It feels around 17 out here right now, possibly gusting up to 20. This is just from the ferry right now. It's gonna get worse because of the wind. The wind is gonna push bigger wakes in here, making them even bigger. It's getting rough out there. So even though it's getting rougher, I'm gonna stay till 8 because it's only 7:23 right now. I don't have a precipitation percentage on me that is scary, but possibly later today we could have some pop-up thunderstorms. There is a possibility of that, but like I was saying, much further north looks spooky, looks scary again. Too many tornadoes lately, just crazy.
Yeah, too many tornadoes. Last week when I was here, the river was just really, really dirty, much dirtier than it is today. And it was full of a lot of debris, like big debris, whole trees and stuff coming down, big logs and other weird things. I'll show you something. I was here Friday morning last week and this floated up. This is a manhole cover. It's not made of metal, it's plastic, but it's heavy duty, pretty heavy. Not as heavy as a metal one. It says Dexolink Sewer on here. Oh, I might be mispronouncing that, but Dexol Inc. I think this is from some company's site. It can be difficult to sit out the last 30 minutes of a session when you have a feeling that bite is gone, because it has really slowed down. It wasn't super crazy to begin with, but definitely not as bad as Friday's session. That was bad. Cut shad and a new moon. Yeah, you're right. It is past 8 right now. It's time for me to get out of here. Not a crazy session, but not a bad session at all. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, being a member of the channel, and I will see you next time.